Hi, this is Lara at Elliott Wave Gold with your daily analysis for Wednesday the 15th of January. I'm recording the video 10 past 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday the 15th. I'm swapping over my main and alternate wave counts. It doesn't make any difference in the very short term, it makes a difference in the mid-term. The expected direction for both at the hourly chart level is exactly the same in the short term. I'm expecting the bigger picture sees that primary wave 4 is not over here and is continuing sideways, most likely as a double combination. The first structure in this double, labelled intermediate wave W, ends here and it subdivides as a zigzag, so the second structure in this combination is most likely to be a flat correction, or less likely it could be a triangle. Flats are much more common than triangles. Within a flat correction, minor wave A should subdivide as a three-wave structure, and the most common structure for an A wave within a flat is a zigzag. So it should subdivide 5, 3, 5. The first wave up, minute wave A, looks like it's unfolding as a leading, contracting diagonal. Within this diagonal, the fourth wave should overlap first wave price territory, and it has. The target for it to end on the hourly chart is exactly the same. Within a diagonal, the rule for the end of a fourth wave is that it may not move beyond the end of the second wave. This main wave count is invalidated with movement below 1218.60 at this stage. When the fourth wave is complete, we will have a target up for the final fifth wave, and a fifth wave of a leading diagonal may not be truncated, so it must make a new high beyond the end of the third wave. Within leading diagonals, subwaves 2 and 4 can only subdivide as single zigzags. Within leading diagonals, subwaves 1, 3 and 5 are most commonly zigzags, but sometimes they may also be impulses. And it's been my experience over the years, looking at many leading diagonals, if one of those three actionary waves is going to be an impulse, it's usually the third wave, and here's a perfect example here. All of the subwaves of this leading expanding diagonal are zigzags except for the third wave, which is an impulse. Let's have a look at the structure on the hourly chart with the end of minuet wave 3 of the diagonal here. Is this point here. So far to the downside we have 5, an expanded flat correction unfolding for the B wave. The A wave within this zigzag down of minuet 4 ends here, not here, because on the 5-minute chart this little piece of movement subdivides very clearly as a 3, it's not a 5. So within subminuet wave B we have a 3, 3 and an incomplete 5 up. It would reach 2.618, the length of the A wave, at 1246, and within this zigzag for minuet wave 4, subminuet wave B may not move beyond the start of A, above 1255.43. I expect the short-term target and the end of the C wave should be reached quite quickly, and then I'll expect more downwards movement, and the target zone remains the same. When we know where B has ended, we could calculate a target down for C, and the most likely target would be equality in length with wave A, particularly if that brings us into this target zone. Within diagonals, as I said on the daily chart, the fourth wave should overlap first wave price territory, and the most common length for second and fourth waves within diagonals is between 0.66 and 0.81, the length of the first or third wave. So this fourth wave would reach 0.66, the length of minuet wave 3 at 1231, and 0.81, the length of minuet wave 3 at 1226. The diagonal is contracting because the third wave is quite a lot shorter than the first wave, so that means the fourth wave should also be shorter than the second wave. This fourth wave will reach equality in length with the second wave at 1225.50, so it's most likely to end before that price point. And as I said on the daily chart, 4 can't move beyond the end of 2 below 1218.60. At the daily chart level, this alternate remains the same as yesterday's main wave count, and I'm swapping the 2 over today because I judge this one to have a slightly lower probability. There are a couple of reasons for that. It's most likely within intermediate wave Y that minor wave A within the flat correction will subdivide as a zigzag. That's the most common structure for A waves within flats, which means what's now the main wave count has a higher probability. But also, if it is unfolding as a flat, this is a really short little minute wave A. I would have expected to end more like somewhere up here. Overall, at the daily chart level, this actually doesn't have quite as good a look as what's now the main wave count. It's still entirely valid, so we'll still look at it. I'll consider it very seriously, and it would be the only wave count if the main wave count is invalidated with more downwards movement than we're expecting. If minor wave A within the larger flat correction of intermediate wave Y is itself subdividing as a flat, then it will subdivide 3, 3, 5. The most common type of flat is an expanded flat where the B wave makes a new price extreme beyond the start of the A wave. So for this alternate, a new low below 1180.84 is actually reasonably likely. Let's have a look at the start of minute wave B here on the hourly chart. This is its start here. The subdivisions at the hourly chart level for these wave counts are exactly the same. They are identical. We have a zigzag complete up here. This may have been the second zigzag in a double. And now if we're seeing a flat correction unfold at minor degree, the B wave within the flat must reach a minimum of 90% the length of the A wave. This wave count requires movement to 1188.27 or below. If the main wave count is invalidated with movement below 1218.6 when we have the next downwards wave, then this would be the only wave count. In the very short term, the structure unfolding upwards is exactly the same, the target is exactly the same. At the daily chart level, it's still also possible that primary 4 is continuing as a big contracting or barrier triangle. If we have a leading diagonal unfolding here for the start of a single or double zigzag, that would actually fit perfectly for this alternate. So yesterday's analysis expected some downwards movement, which is exactly what we've got. It's not over yet. I expect a wee bit of upwards movement. The short-term target is 1246, and when that upward structure for the C wave is done, I'm expecting again more downwards movement. For the main wave count, I expect that should be over within 24 hours, either before next analysis or around about the time of next analysis. The depth of that downwards movement will tell us which of those two wave counts is correct. That's all for me today with your gold analysis, and I hope that all our members are having a most awesome day.